Excellent condition stream. We're in it, baby. Excuse me. I'm back, baby. Here on the channel, talking about dumb tweets. Day 1685 of my Twitter banning. Why is it so wobbly? Does it mean to be wobbly? Hold on. Wobble. 1618 of my Twitter ban. I sent a message to. I sent an appeal yesterday. I've kind of given up at this point, but I said something along the lines of, "Hi, I saw a bunch of Nazis on Twitter yesterday being Nazis and defending other Nazis, which is kind of weird considering my suspension from the site for posting a meme. Your consideration would be appreciated. Thanks." Oh, I think I said love from. Oh, I'm such a prick. So, there was that. I'm gonna keep appealing. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what'll happen, but I imagine they'll continue to, they've been seeing my appeals pretty quickly, which is funny because it sends you, like, when you send in an appeal, it says something along the lines of, please bear with us as there's a high volume of these kinds of requests at the moment. So, we will get to your request in the next 5 to 7 days or whatever. And for me, they've been getting back usually in less than a day. So whether that means that someone's paying attention or not, I don't know. I can just imagine Elon Musk sitting on the other end and being like, "This fucking Aslan piece of shit. No, not allowed back. Stop it." That would be funny, but I don't imagine that's the case. Anyway, on to some dumb tweets, because I can't do it on Twitter, so I'm gonna do it here. No, that's not what I want. That's the tweet, but hold on. Where are we? I need this, but I don't want like that. Hold on. Oh, jeez, it's because I'm in the wrong. Here we go. Okay. Again, from Reddit, but that is because being on Twitter is a pain in the butthole at the moment when I'm banned. So here I am talking about some bad tweets. So here, I can't remember whether I talked about this one last time, but I thought I'd talk about it now anyway, just because why not? It's Matt Walsh. He's a fucking moron and a Nazi. I actually I made some little shorts out of. There's a cool thing you can do with videos where you like remix them or whatever, and so you can take like a minute out of one and post it as a short. And so I've been posting these little shorts as pleas to Matt Walsh, pleading to him to please find a context when saying the N-word is appropriate, and then do it. Do it, Matt. Anyway, so here we have Matt Walsh. Your choice to transition is not merely personal or private. It will have a devastating effect on your loved ones. You owe it to your family to live in reality. First impression of this, well, that's what transitioning is doing. It's letting you live in reality, as in the reality that comports most with the gender that you identify with. That's what doing transition stuff does. It would be the parents who aren't living in reality by denying your identity and getting upset at the fact that you're, taking measures I think that's anyway, doing things to, better, to live a more healthier and fulfilling life. Do parents get upset when people like lose weight? Like say you're overweight and you want to, you feel unhappy with what your body looks like, so you go ahead and you go on a diet and you start working out and all that sort of stuff. Is that going to have a devastating effect on your loved ones? What about if you have, like a nose job, or you cut your hair? I remember when I was younger, I had quite long hair like this when I was in high school, which was much to the chagrin of my principal, who was very much about the image that was being shown to the public of the school. He wanted the image of the school to be very, strict and brr. Anyway, point was that I had long hair all the way through high school, and then I went off to university, and I cut my hair, and I came home, and my mum was like, "What did you do?" So in that case, my mum was devastated. I don't think she was there. It was just kind of a thing that I'd had long hair for. Anyway, but you get the point. If people make choices about their bodies, that permanent or not, and a loved one can't accept that, then maybe they're not really that much of a loved one. Maybe they're thinking a lot about themselves and not the person that they supposedly love. It's just very, one of the main reasons given by trans people who contemplate suicide is not acceptance by their family. So here, Matt, who, I know that he doesn't care that trans people commit suicide, but I know that he uses that talking point a lot to talk about how bad it is to be trans. Because the suicide rates are so high, and then we're turning kids trans, and then that means we've got a bigger rate of suicide. So but Matt, look at me here, Matt. Look, Hector. Sorry, I saw Aisha Hector pop up in the chat, and instead of saying, I meant to say something else, but I said Hector instead. That's funny. Matt, look at me. I meant to say camera one. Matt, camera one. Hey, Matt, I'm sorry you're going through with that with your mother, Aisha. I assume that's how you pronounce your name, Aisha? Aisha? Like Aisha Tyler? Maybe. You're valid. I think you're very valid, and you deserve happiness, in my opinion. And your mother can fuck off. Respectfully. I can't remember what I was going to say to Matt. Matt, fuck you. Suck a dick. Next. Thingamajiggy. Here we go. This was pretty funny to me because so it's on the Left Can't Meme subreddit. So it's not technically Twitter. Don't lynch me. But I thought it was very funny because there's okay, so let me just read it first. Okay. Disney is slammed over its characters' noses as viewers warn cartoons are sending dangerous messages to little girls by giving all princesses tiny upturned features, while only evil, ugly villains have realistic noses. Yeah. And then it's been posted on the Left Can't Meme saying, "Hooray, new thing to be offended by just dropped," which is hilarious because it's the conservatives who are always upset at Disney. They're constantly offended at Disney for having gay characters, or not even gay characters, like maybe a kiss between two same gendered characters, or having a pride flag like in the background but like blurry. Famously Ron DeSantis is warring with Disney at the moment because they opposed his Don't Say Gay bill. conservatives are constantly upset and offended by Disney. It's what they do. It's in their soul. It's in their bones. They wake up every morning and they go, Disney. That's what they do. It's part of who they are. So for them to be here and be like, oh look, the leftists are upset about, they're offended by Disney stuff, is hysterical to me. Second of all, I mean, kind of valid point to some degree. If all the nice, good, wholesome and pure characters are represented as traditionally beautiful people, while all of the evil, conniving, twisted people are all ugly, or, I mean, in this case, they say realistic noses, so, ones that actually look like real people. That can, media has an effect on society and people. That's just how things work. So, it's like having, magazines or whatever only putting like really thin models on there, or underwear places only advertising with very thin models or whatever. It's inclusivity is good because not everyone looks the same. Oh, geez, I just realized again that child labor is in the bottom there. This happened to me last time. I'm just going to get rid of that. Goodbye, child labor. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Next, okay. So here we have a conservative meme. Again, not Twitter, I'm sorry, but I get in the habit of lying. It's just the way I am as a leftist. Lying, conniving leftist. Anyway, conservative memes, subreddit. The right, I mean, the right can't meme. They're very, very bad at trying to be funny or anything. But anyway, here we go. So we've got this NPC who is a woman saying abortion is a constitutional right, and then wearing a t-shirt that has no guns on it. First of all, yes. Get rid of guns. No one needs a gun. I'm sorry, you just don't. I've gone my whole life. I lied. I've shot rabbits and stuff when I was a kid because we lived on a farm. But that's like with a fucking, a bolt action rifle. So you have to be like, or no, not even like that. You kind of have to go, and then you go, and then you go, and then again, not exactly mass shooter material. Also, that is locked away in a safe. Like, us kids could not just waltz up and grab one of my uncle's guns. They were locked in a very secure safe. He had to have a license. All that sort of nonsense. Those are good things if you're going to have guns around. And like I say, they weren't fucking assault rifles. No one needs an assault rifle. And this one has a handgun. I mean, again, I can't really see the point of a handgun because I don't see the point. And the second thing, abortion is a constitutional right. I don't think that people are saying that abortion is a constitutional right. I don't think anyone has ever said that. They say abortion is a right, and it was a right before Roe v. Wade was overturned. Rights are, set by the government. That's what they are. We decide what rights are and what they aren't, and in this case, we decided that abortion is a right that women have. And then the conservative Supreme Court took it away. So, yes, you can be against guns and also be pro-abortion. The funny thing is, the flip side of that is like, the right, their position is abortion is murder because you're killing children. But they're pro-gun, which even and most recently, which I'm going to talk about in a second, has been used to continually murder children at a pretty high rate. It's disgusting. Republicans say that they care about babies or children or women or whatever. They use these slogans to say that they care about these sort of things because they know that, of course, it's a good thing to care about women and children, but they don't actually care about those things, but they use those as euphemisms so that people will support them. Hey, I don't want to be that person who's against children. You say you're pro-children. I want to be pro-children. I must need to support you. I mean, it's kind of, or maybe not support you, but, I can't criticize you because they'll hide behind that, right? They'll say, what, are you against babies? You hate babies. You want to murder babies? Which, no. We want women to have control over control over their bodies, have bodily autonomy. But in this case, abortion, we need to save the children, except when they come out of the womb, then they need to get a fucking job, which, again, I'll talk about in a second. They need to get a fucking job, and they need to dodge bullets because, I want my gun. I want to feel safe feel like a real man with my gun. I need that in my life. That needs to be my thing because it's a right, and I don't care that will potentially get your child murdered. So, there. Suck it. Ridiculous people. Next. This is just, I thought this is just kind of funny again as well. So we've got the Donald subreddit dedicated to discussing the Donald Trump presidency and the failure therein. No? Okay. So anyway, this is a full-fledged invasion of the United States of America. No, it's not. It's a bunch of people seeking asylum. You fucking racist weirdos. Oh no, look at these people. Oh, look, there's a person. Oh, look, there's another. Oh, wow, look at that person. They're standing in line. There's a lot of them. There's people in a line. Look at that invasion. Invasion. Just real quick, I want to see if I type invasion into Google, what are the images that come up? Excuse me, that was a snort. Invasion. Oh, look at that invasion. Does it look? Oh, there you go. Modern Warfare 2. But those people have guns and masks and stuff. I mean, this invasion has tanks. The Normandy invasion, these people had guns and helmets and overturned vehicles. Oh, that was a space. What else we got here? Invasion Planet Earth. Oh, this one's got a. They broke Big Ben. They're coming in their weird shaped spaceship that's got a tail for some reason. So, invasion. Well, there we go. There's the invasion, like a Roman invasion. Look, those have got shields and swords and stuff. Is that what's going on here? Are there shields and swords? Or weird tail-shaped spaceships? No, it's just some people standing in a line, you racist weirdos. What does the top comment say? Waiting in line for their Democrat voter registration card. Yeah, see, because Democrats care about people for some reason. Anyway, for some reason, nominally. Anyway, here we go. So, to talk about the latest mass shooting. Actually, I lie. This was a couple of days ago. So when I say latest mass shooting, there's probably been others since then, which, again, my God. But real quick, I wanted to go through these things because there was this guy who went into a mall in Texas and murdered a bunch of people. And with an AK sort of rifle, not an AK rifle, what do you call it? It was an assault rifle. It was a gun that no one should have because they're used to murder multiple people within the space of a second. You don't need them. No citizen should need them. They're completely superfluous. Superfluous? That's not the word. The word I was looking for was surplus to requirements. That's what I was trying to say. You don't need them. The only time we ever hear about them being used is when they're being used by a Nazi like this, a piece of shit, to murder multiple people, dozens of people, injure dozens of people. That's all they're ever used for. I'm sorry, you don't need them. Get rid of them. Burn them, melt them down, whatever. I don't care. I don't care about your constitutional right to bear arms. Fuck you, you piece of shit. This is what you. This is what happens. Sorry, it's just that's just the way it is. Turns out the shooter was a Nazi. So this is the thing. Turns out the shooter was a Nazi. We can see. Here we go. He's got. Here's his post. Here's what I think about your diversity, you fucking losers. And he's got an SS symbol. He's got a big old Texas thing there and a big old swastika tattoo there. So he was a Nazi who lived in Texas. So the funny side of this, if there can be a funny side to a Nazi murdering multiple people with a weapon that shouldn't be available to them, a bunch of far-right weirdos have been scrambling because they always do this thing where they demand to know. Oh my god, it's raining hard. So I just need to close my window because the rain was coming in. They do this thing where they demand the identity of the person and to read the manifesto and things like that. When they catch a whiff that person will be someone that they disagree with, who's not on their side, an immigrant, a trans person, something or other, someone they can use to demonize an entire group of people by saying, look, this immigrant murdered a whole bunch of people. Look, this trans person murdered a whole bunch of people. Therefore, trans bad. Therefore, immigrant bad. This is what they do. It's fucked up and disgusting when the problem is guns. And again, I'll get to that in a second. There was a very good tweet about that. But here we go. So Isabella Riley Moody, she's saying, I could admit when I was wrong. I thought he was tied to the cartel. So there you go. She was, he was an immigrant apparently because his skin's kind of brown. And he's got tattoos, which you didn't see these tattoos, saw like maybe snippets of tattoo, but wasn't sure what they were. But here we go. New evidence shows that the Nazi tattoos is more likely tied to the Ukrainian cartel. It was just like heading in the right direction, right turn. Just completely lacking self-awareness. And, I don't know if they're smart enough to be saying this kind of thing, to be self-aware and be like, oh, we need to switch it over to another thing because I'm smart. This lady is an idiot. I've interacted with her on Twitter before I had my free speech banned. So it's hard to say if she's really just fucking stupid, which I think she is, or whether, she's smart enough to be like, hey, you're going to put it somewhere else. Another example here, Tim Pool. So No Lie with Brian Taylor Cohen, who is a big old leftist account. Wow, the Allen, Texas mass shooter profile on Russian social media site has been found. He posted a photo of Nazi tattoos and reconnaissance photos of the Outlet Mall weeks prior. He also posted the right-wing YouTuber Tim Pool. So there you go. So he was a fan. Oh, and so here Tim Pool is saying, I'm assuming they posted the fake Russian profile in response to the fact that a trans person shot kids and they're terrified. And then Hassan Piker came along and said, bro, he was a fan of you. So there you go. He was a fan of Tim Pool. Weird that this weirdo right winger who's always going on about civil war and shit and platforming Nazis like Kanye West and Alex Jones and wait, no, not Alex Jones. Who Milo Yiannopoulos. You know, he had that whole. Who's the little Weasley little bastard? Nick Fuentes. You know, who could have seen that a person in his audience would have been a Nazi? Color me surprised. Anyway, gang tattoos. Here we go. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, 9 people were murdered yesterday in Allen, Texas, by this man who appears Hispanic with what looks like gang tattoos on his hand. The shooting occurred at a gun-free zone at an outlet mall. Title 42 ends on Thursday, and the CBP says 700,000 migrants are going to rush the border. So here we have Marjorie Taylor Greene tweeting about how she thinks that a day after the murders happened, tweeting about how she thought that he was a cartel member, and then using that to promote gun-free zone. I don't get the gun-free zone thing, because, yes, it was a gun-free zone, okay, but the guy still walked in with a gun and murdered a bunch of people. So who cares? But then she's also using it as a thing to get Title 42, which is this anti-immigrant. I was just watching a thing from John Oliver yesterday about it's not necessarily an anti-immigrant thing, but it's being used that way to stop immigrants from seeking asylum in the US. So she's using this lie. So it's not a fact. Sorry, it's a lie that he appears to be Hispanic with what looks like gang tattoos. So she saw a slightly tanned person, saw some tattoos, and was like, "Must be cartel." And then, said, well, that means we need to tighten immigration law to stop immigrants from coming into America. It's racist on so many levels. It's like, it's profiling, which is so fucked up. Oh, the guy looks a bit Hispanic to me. Don't let him in the country. Fucking hell. It's assuming that anyone who is Hispanic must be evil in some sort of way. And it's also ascribing that to an entire group of people who are coming here to seek asylum, to seek safety from wars, from climate catastrophes, which are becoming more and more readily happening. I can't talk. That's a weird way of saying it. But anyway, racist. And then someone just posted a picture of the fact that he was a Nazi underneath. He was on your side, Marge, you Nazi piece of shit. Marjorie Taylor Greene, more like multiple tiny groypers. I don't know. Anyway, was there more of that thing? Oh, okay. So this was the one that I wanted to. Here we go. So someone posted this. This is a tweet that I thought best sums up the whole thing, because inevitably after all these things, right-wingers will be like, no, it's not the guns' fault, it's people's fault. People murder, not guns. Holy shit, it's a friggin' storm out there. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to shut my window more. It looked like it was a nice morning, but suddenly the friggin' sky is falling. Jesus Christ. Blown away. I live on the edge of the sea, so the sea is right there. And I just get... Anyway, sea breezes. Just a reminder that Japan has mentally ill people, video games, porn, only 1.5% of the population being, I don't know what that means, XTN? Sorry, I don't know what that means. Trans people, violent movies, a population of 125.7 million. 2 people killed by guns all of last year, and 0 mass shootings. It's the guns. They have all of the things that America has that the right wing wants to blame for gun violence, except for all the guns. It's the guns. The guns are the problem. Get rid of the guns, you absolute fucking ghouls. Demons. I think those are better words. I'm gonna look at this real quick because I sort of wanted to talk about. I could have been wrong. I could definitely have been wrong in this situation. That's enough of gun stuff. I'm just gonna go to my. Let me know what you think about this particular thing that I'm going to talk about now. I posted on the Majority Report subreddit because I'm a big fan of the Majority Report. I've been watching them for years and years and years. Sam Cedar's great. Emma's fantastic. Binder, great. Brandon, the guy who's always calling, he's not calling in, but he's barely ever in the studio. He's always like at his house with a microphone. He's a fucking genius. He's amazing. Matt Lech, is that I think is his name. They're all fantastic. They're all great. R.I.P. Michael. Great show. I love it. I love it. But one of the gripes I have, there's probably others, but this one really sticks out to me. Whenever I'm watching the show and they describe people who they disagree with as freaks, I feel, to me, it seems very ableist. I feel like it's on a similar par, not as bad as, but like ableist in a similar way to saying someone's dumb. Dumb's not even. When I think about it, it kind of is, but it's got ableist tones to it, and I think that self-reflection is an important part of what of leftist, leftist stuff. One of the very important parts of my ideology and my the way that I operate is to take criticism and self-reflect and potentially change depending on that. I think that's a very important part of just what it means to be human. But, leftists, I hold them to a higher standard than I do the right, because the right, I know they don't do this kind of stuff. So that's why I talk about it as a leftist kind of thing. So I posted on the Majority Report subreddit saying, hey, can we stop using the word freaks to describe those who we're opposed to? And I said it probably didn't originate in the show, but I've started to notice it more and more on the Majority Report, and I feel like it pops up a lot in other leftist discourse, and it's just ableist. There's not much more to say. I love the show, but come on, guys. And I got some pushback. People were not happy with me. That's the last bit of coffee. Freaks is not ableist. Sorry, but not every word to describe a stupid person or an unusual person is ableist. The term freak has no medical usage and has never been associated with any disability. It is used to describe someone or something very unusual, or a person with a unusual, intense obsession with a religion or fitness. Anyway, its negative usage should be shunned because freak was already reclaimed as a positive term by the counterculture in the 1960s. So it's not ableist, apparently. Damn, that's some severe rad lib shit right there. Don't use freak. What's next? Don't call Nazi a monster. That's not comparable. No. Only use the term freak to describe the sexually interesting, self-identifying. That's funny. The language police are going to have to deal with... the language police are going to have to deal with some words that have negative connotations. We need them to convey emotions. Freak is just a placeholder for fuck. Have you considered going outside? Nope, freak it is, and only freaks because they're sure as hell not geeks. They're dumbass rocks. Language police is such like a boomer PC culture piece of like nonsense. Like, what? It's the sort of shit that your uncle will be saying. Stop being language police, you millennial. I don't know. The freaks just like, it's one of those things like it's associated with like the freak show stuff from circuses or whatever, where you'd have deformed people with deformities or disabilities or whatever who were lumped into this category of freaks. To say that it didn't have a medical term, so it was used to degrade and dehumanize a whole variety of people back in the day. And I feel that it just carries ableist undertones. Again, could be wrong, but I feel like it always just kind of makes me cringe a little bit whenever they say it on the show. Could be wrong. Maybe I need to call in and have this discussion with the people themselves. Again, I'm not saying cancel the Majority Report. I'm just saying that maybe we should have a think about that. Obviously, these particular people in the audience did not find my objections to be valid, but whatever. Let's move on. Okay, hold on. So, yeah. Okay, so this meme here, it's got a couple of caveats next to it. So, this again is from conservative memes. They're so fucking ridiculous. Kids today need more chores instead of looking at their phones. Nah, bro, this ain't it. Because it's got a picture of like a fucking 4-year-old toiling in the fields. It's child labor. My God, like, go, go. But it's got 279 upvotes, man. That's yeah, conservatives being pro-child labor. Pretty fucked up, yo. And I mean, okay, so it's just a meme. But then we have a look here. We've got Sarah Huckabee Sanders, governor of Arkansas. Governor Sanders signs the law that makes it easier to employ children. Arkansas governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders signed a law this week rolling back the requirements that states verify the ages of workers under 16 and provide them with work certificates permitting them to work. Effectively, the new law signed by a Republican governor applies to those who are 14 and 15 years old because in most cases, Arkansas businesses can't employ under 14. So here we go. The governor believes that protecting kids is most important, but this permit was an arbitrary burden on parents to get permission from the government for their child to get a job. So, I mean, child get a job. Just like, what? No. Your child should not have to get a fucking job. They spend, looking back on my life, reflecting, you spend 8 hours at school all day and then are expected to get a job after school? Fuck that. That's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Parents, well, first of all, the government should be supporting families, giving, allowing families to have the sort of money where they can support kids, where kids don't have to get a job. I mean, I didn't have to get a job, but, there's this expectation that you save up money to pay for university, that you want to be able to buy your own things and stuff like that. But why shouldn't... I mean, rich people don't do that. Rich kids get money from their parents. So if poorer families were taken care of, or middle-class families were taken care of in a way where, kids could just have stuff because their parents were able to afford it, that'd be great. Also, it would, encourage a mindset where, you don't have parents who are thinking, oh, my kids need to go out and get a fucking job because when I was a kid, I had to work for the kind of stupid-ass boomer mindset. Anyway, so Republicans think that's a good thing for some reason. Child labor laws. And then it just reminds me of this thing I talked about the other day where Jordan Peterson was tweeting about how, this is 300 children, including 2 10-year-olds found working at McDonald's restaurants. This is what Republicans want. It's fucked up, yo. Child labor is bad, actually. I know that's a hot take, Child labor is bad. Don't cancel me. Next. Defund the police. I got a lot of conservative memes today. Damn. Defund the police. Conservatives only. Snowflake. Safe spaces. That's what they want. We need community policing, says this pink-haired, crying piece of shit. We need community policing because they got the policeman there fucking arresting a black man. Yep. And then that same crying person says, not like that, to the guy murdering someone on a subway. How do these people get out of bed in the morning? I don't. Jesus Christ. I'll get into what defund the police means in a minute because that's important. But even if it was like we need if I take this meme at face value, we need community policing. So instead of that what they're saying, what the person here is saying is instead of policemen policing everybody, people should police their own communities, which is not what leftist people say. But face value, that does not mean that we need to go around murdering each other. You absolute fucking potatoes. Jesus, what the fuck? So, but then I suppose it would be accurate if it was like, because police like to murder black people. So, then if we don't get the police to murder black people, get the community to murder black people. It's fucking dumb. Anyway, what does defund the police actually mean? The slogan itself is purposefully provocative. Of course it is. It's a slogan, and also it's compact. It's something that you can defund the police, defund. It's a chanty. It's that kind of thing. And conservatives are too dumb to actually. Well, no. This is the other thing. Is maybe they're not too dumb. Some of them aren't. Calls don't sleep. Yeah, no. They potentially. Yeah, I mean. Okay, so you've either got the smart ones who know what it actually means, but choose to misrepresent it because it opposes their actual, their politics, which is true. They're pro-police and all that sort of stuff. They're more likely they're pro-capital. They're pro-capitalist, and they know that police are an important part of protecting that capitalist system. So, they lie about what the meaning of it actually is. On the other hand, you've got people who are just too stupid to understand what it actually means. But here we go. Defund the police. In the United States, defund the police is a slogan that supports removing funds from police departments and reallocating them to non-policing forms of public safety and community support, such as social services, youth services, housing, education, healthcare, and other community services. Activists who use the phrase may do so with varying intentions. Some seek modest reductions. Others argue for full divestment as a step towards abolition of contemporary police services. Activists who support the defunding police departments often argue that investing in community programs would provide better crime deterrence for communities. Funds would go towards addressing social issues like poverty, homelessness, and mental disorders. Police abolitionists call for replacing existing police forces with other services of public safety like housing, employment, community health, educations, and other programs. That seems great. Rather than having like a militarized police force that goes around murdering black people, which is what this defund the police phrase became popularized after during the George Floyd protests. Rather than having police who are trained to be, heroic, defenders of the peace who shoot first and ask questions later, rather than having that kind of force running around, and responding to incidents that don't require guns, that don't require aggressiveness, don't require, subduing people or whatever. Maybe domestic disturbances or traffic violations. Hey, gig. Proud of you. Good to have you here. Rather than having these highly militarized, aggressive trained, policemen who aren't trained to deal with these other things, like mental health episodes, or homeless people, or whatever, things that may, that may need addressing, but don't require someone to go around bear macing people. If that's the case, then reallocating funds away from this highly militarized, aggressive capital reinforcement force towards other services which help with these societal ills, I suppose, is a good thing. That's what defund the police means. I know that just that little tiny thing can be, again, a little bit provocative or misleading. But when you unpack it and actually look at the context, it makes sense. But that's not what the right wants you to hear. So they make stupid memes like this. Morons. How long have I been on here? I do need to go and start studying soon. Give me a second. Stream. Can't tell how long it's been. It doesn't tell me. Whatever. Who cares? Here we go. So here's the left can't meme getting upset at a trans meme. I'm on this trans subreddit. It's a great one. It's trans, which is a trans meme subreddit. Yeah, the police as an institution as well is yeah. It's a whole other thing as well, and there's definitely like a 45 minutes. Okay, cool. Yeah, there's definitely like a systemic and institutional critiques as well, as opposed to defund the police, which I'm not super schooled on. But so the left can't meme are upset at this trans meme because they don't understand why they're being made fun of. Because the common refrain from transphobes is read a biology book, basic biology, such and such. To which the obvious response is, biology has progressed past 8th grade biology. Sorry. Once you learn about 8th grade biology, you go on and learn about 9th grade and 10th grade, and then you go into high school and then into college, and things get complicated. That is the way things are. And so this meme here is is making fun of that. I would tell them science evolves over time, but I don't think most transphobes would believe in evolution. So the meme is transphobes be like, this is what a T-Rex looks like. It's what I learned in elementary school. So, it's a dinosaur who I'm assuming isn't a T-Rex, but it's got the shape of a T-Rex. It's kind of what a T-Rex sort of looks like. So they're like, that must be a T-Rex because that's what I learned in primary school. Which is analogous to what they say about gender and sex and all that sort of stuff. That's how they're making fun of you, the left can't meme. Because you guys are dumb. And you still don't get it. It's kind of funny that, they're so stupid that they say this stuff and then you make fun of them for saying stupid stuff and they don't get it. Love it. Love it. Warms my soul. Next. Only one more. Oh no, this was part of the the Texas shooter thing. So just real quick, the far right over the last 24 hours, there's no evidence that the Texas shooter was a neo-Nazi. And then they switched to, okay, he had neo-Nazi patches on his tactical vest, but that was ironic. And then they switched to, okay, he might have been a neo-Nazi, but it was a government mind control that made him that way. So, Ian Miles Chong, Mr. Still Gray, who blocked me ages ago. I don't know why. I can't even remember. The alleged shooter's alleged profile claims that he was inspired by libs of TikTok. Probably. Makes sense. Because, account that inspires hate and vitriol towards people that they don't like. Between this and the Tim Pool references, this thing is suspect. Whereas the Twitter account, why was he using a ... And then the redhead libertarian comes here and says, it's a psyop, it's not even that good. And then Elon Musk comes along and is like, this gets wilder by the moment. Mr. Musk, that was what I was, there was one other tweet that I thought was kind of funny. Oh, here you go, yeah. Some groper would be going to, some groper is going to tweet, weird how Germany found 6 million Jews to kill when there were only 500,000 Jews in Germany. And Elon replied, and then that would be that. Because that's what Elon does. He's a fucking weirdo far-right dickhead who goes around looking at all these awful fucking far-right accounts on Twitter and goes, giving them clout, giving them some, giving them attention, all that sort of stuff, and agreeing with them in a kind of way. It's fucked up. Anyway, that's what Elon's up to. So that's what Elon was doing in this tweet here as well. It gets weirder by the moment, affirming these, fucked up conspiracies about the shooter. When, as we know by, I want to say Occam's razor, the simplest explanation is probably the right one. What's the simplest explanation? That he was a government-trained psyop to deep state controlled mind person to make bad the right wing, or that he was just a neo-Nazi who hated people and watched and listened to people like this who spend their time online spreading hate towards people who are different, who aren't white, who aren't straight, who aren't cisgendered. That makes complete sense. That's what he was. He's one of you. Fuck off, you Nazi wankers. Anyway. Yeah. That's a good point. If folks learn anything they need to know from biology from 8th grade, then why? No, sorry, I read that wrong. I thought you were saying that if the one thing that people should learn from 8th grade biology courses is that there is a college biology course. Anyway, I like to finish off the stream with something nice. So here, this is a video of. Well, I don't want to ruin it, so just watch. Claw machine. Yay! Oh! Isn't that great? Cat's just like, yo, what up? What's going on? Why is everybody looking at me? I love that. That's so good. I could look at shit like that all day. But I can't because I have to go and write the first chapter of my thesis. Thank you for those who joined me. Geek, Aisha, lovely to have you here. Protest my banning from Twitter, please protest. I'm going to appeal again. I will appeal again, and Elon will give my account back, and I will have free speech once again. Anyway, thanks for joining. Have a lovely evening, day, whatever, whenever you're watching this. Love your faces. Peace.